happening, guys? This is Nagpal for iGyaan.in, and today we're going to be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy R. So I did a quick unboxing and review of this device, and at that time this device was priced at about 26,000, 27,000 rupees, I believe. And at that price, I recommended you to not buy this phone and to spend a couple of thousand rupees extra and go in for the Samsung Galaxy S2. But a lot has changed since then, and I got over 1,000 requests from you guys to review the Samsung Galaxy R now that the price has come down to even 19,800 rupees in some places. So at that price, guys, we believe that this is an awesome phone, and for that we're going to be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy R. So let's get a full review. Starting off with the build quality, Galaxy R at first glance seems really rock solid, and the front is a very nice Gorilla Glass display. On the sides of the device you will see this metallic finish, and on the back you will see this brushed aluminum plate which has a magnesium color to it, but is actually brushed aluminum. So we did use this device for quite some time since the quick review, and we found that the build quality actually is not that great. As you can see, we did manage to get a lot of dents and nicks in the back panel, so it's not that solid. And we didn't even drop this device, so this was just from daily use. We were able to get these nicks and dents. The color of the back plate started to fade away from here. This is the metallic portion, but it's actually plastic. This is the metallic look portion, so the paint or the kind of coating they have on this starts to fade away by just general daily keeping on the table, and that just kind of fades away the back panel, which is quite disappointing for the back at least. The panel is kind of flimsy and the whole thing comes off. It's not very solid. Piece of plastic, and it doesn't break easily is what a good aspect of it is. The front of the device is supposed to have a scratch resistant display, but as you can possibly see here, we did manage to get a couple of scratches, and we have been using this without a screen protector. Get a few good scratches on this from day-to-day use. This was able to scratch just by going in and out of our pockets. So that's the build quality. The button over here, which is the power lock and unlock button, is quite flimsy, not as great as we saw on the S2 and on some of the other Samsung devices. The volume rocker, however, is pretty good, so no complaints with the volume rocker. The home button is rock solid, so no issues with the home button as well. So that's the build quality of the Samsung Galaxy R. You do have a 5 megapixel camera at the back, which is an autofocus camera. Pretty good pictures from the camera, and you have an LED flash, which is okay in terms of giving you light. Will not brighten the room up, but it's a good add-on, and it does improve picture taking capabilities in low light conditions. So let's talk about the interface. This is the lock screen. Your missed calls and SMS messages that you don't read will show up on this panel over here in a quick slide fashion. So you can just slide into them. I unfortunately don't have any to show you right now, but you get your date and time information on the lock screen as well. You can of course change this wallpaper to any wallpaper that you like, so you can customize that aspect. And now this does come with the newer version of TouchWiz user interface, and this is identical to the interface that you see on the Samsung Galaxy S2. While this user interface is proprietary to Samsung, you can customize it in the standard Android fashion. You can hold down your finger on the home screen and add shortcuts, widgets, wallpapers or folders. So for example, you can add a widget, and Samsung allows you to add a bunch of widgets that they include. So for example, you want a digital dual clock, you want an analog dual clock, you can put that as well, and then just simply pull it out. These customizations will let you play around with the look of the device. You can of course customize the phone a little further by installing custom launchers like Go Launcher or ADW Launcher, and according to that you can play around with the features. I'm just going to quickly jump into settings, and we are on the latest software available on this. I'm just going to do a quick check anyway, so I don't have a SIM card in there. So we are on the latest version or the latest build available for the Samsung Galaxy R, and that's 2.3.4, if you can see right here. This phone will get an update to Ice Cream Sandwich, as it has been confirmed by Samsung themselves. So definitely a good phone to buy at a price of 20,000 rupees, because it will get the ICS update, and we are quite happy about that. So the device does have an Nvidia Tegra 2 chipset, which runs at 1 GHz and on the Cortex A9 platform. You do also have a ULP GeForce GPU, which is pretty impressive for the device. Gaming and all of that is pretty good on this device, and we'll give you a demonstration of that soon enough. Let's talk about the basic functions of the device. You get the standard Samsung dialer, pretty good looking, nice and large buttons. You of course can scroll from logs, contacts and favorites from the dialer. You have your standard notification panel and you have your quick launch buttons on the top over here, so you can change from auto rotation, silent, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. You can turn on or off these things according to your requirements, which is pretty standard with Android again. You do have this pinch to zoom out feature, which will allow you to see all your home screens, and you can jump from one home screen to another home screen as per your convenience, which makes it a little bit fast. You can also hold the home button to bring out the task manager or the recent applications. Now, this is a proprietary Samsung feature. We've not seen it on any other device. By going into the task manager, you can exit all running applications, and you can also go into downloaded applications, clear the memory, all these things. And you can check your phone storage, memory card storage, all these things from here as well. Talking about the keyboard, it does come with the standard Samsung keyboard, which is a pretty decent keyboard. And it's quite fast as well. You can go into settings and turn on auto predict and predictive text as well. You can also turn on swipe keyboard, which you can do by holding down on the home screen and by choosing select input method and then choosing swipe. And once you do that, you will be able to use swipe on this. That's definitely a faster way to type. We do have these square widgets that have been added by Samsung to add to the TouchWiz user interface. They look good and make the device look a little bit cleaner than Android usually looks. And this is definitely an improvement over standard devices available in the market. Especially at this price, you don't get user interface which is quite as good as TouchWiz. The other alternative is HTC Sense, but you don't have any dual core phones at this price. For a price of 20,000 rupees, you get a really nice dual core smartphone. Talking about applications and customizations, Samsung also includes something which they call Samsung Apps, which allows you to download applications from the Samsung marketplace. This is free, and it also gives you a lot of paid applications for free, so this is definitely an add-on to the standard Android marketplace. This, however, does require your SIM card. We don't have one in there right now. Talking about call quality, we've experienced no problems with the call quality of the device. The earphone and the microphone are pretty good, and we face no dropped calls except a few over a week's test time. Battery life on this is also quite impressive. We got about 5 hours of talk time on 2G networks, about 4.5 hours of talk time on 3G. Ranged from between 4.5, so that's pretty good. We didn't test a lot of standby time, but we did have this device running for 3 days without any issue before we started to use it. So at least 72 hours of standby time with the phone on and receiving no calls. So that's definitely there. Let's talk about benchmarks. I'm going to quickly go and run a few benchmarks over here, starting with Quadrant. Let's see what the score looks like. The score is also very impressive, 2958, which is an impressive score for a device at this price, 20,000 bucks. Running the stock ROM, no customizations, nothing done. It's not been rooted. It gets you a score of almost 3,000 without any complaints. We can also run NeoCore to test the GPU. So standard 56.6 FPS on NeoCore, and also going to run Nina Mark II. So Nina Mark says a score of 29 frames per second. Let's quickly jump into the Internet Explorer and look at what browsing looks like on this device. And of course, we're just going to quickly jump into iGyaan.in. You do have motion control. Using your 2 fingers, you can hold it on the screen and pull the device closer to zoom in and push it forward to zoom out. That's a feature that has started to come in these devices since the advent of the Samsung Galaxy S2. That was the first device to use the tilt zoom feature, and since then Samsung has been using it in most of their devices. So let's quickly load up iGyaan.in. It should load up in the mobile mode right now, and as you can see, it loads up quite fast, very smooth scrolling, no issues with the lag or whatsoever, and quite fast the website has been rendered. And let's quickly jump to the bottom and switch to the full website. Now I've turned off rotation, that's why it didn't rotate. I'm just going to pull down the notification panel, I turn on rotation over here, and now you'll be able to see that the device turns into landscape without me even turning it into landscape. So as you can see, the website loads quite fast and it looks good, and we do have our Christmas logo up there, so Merry Christmas to you all. And if you look at this, overall look of the screen is pretty impressive. We do have an SLCD over here which is pretty bright, and I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to try and fix the color. So now you can see the screen a little bit better. It's much whiter than what it was, and you can see that this device looks more impressive. I just wiggled around with my camera a little bit to make you see this device a little bit better. So as you can see, it's very responsive, the screen looks good, and text looks great, as you can see over here. Text is impressive, and pinching and zooming in is pretty impressive, smooth, no issues whatsoever, and at a price of 20,000, I don't think you can get much better than this. This device also supports Flash, all types of Flash. Flash Player 11 can be downloaded and installed on this device, and it'll run without any issues. I'm also going to quickly play a bunch of videos from YouTube. Somehow the iPhone 4S unboxing video always shows up.
I love the white color. I've got them in different sizes. One is a 64 gig, one is a 32 gig.
So as you can see, the screen looks absolutely phenomenal. So as you saw, video quality is more than impressive and looks good. Audio is also very loud, so the device overall performs great when it comes to multimedia. And the last thing we'd like to show you in the user interface or the usage of the device is a bunch of games that we installed. So starting with Angry Birds. So as you can see, games like Angry Birds will not be an issue on this device. This is going to be a demonstration of games like Blood and Glory, which is a recent game by Glue Mobile, and it's a highly graphics intensive game, and it allows you to experience good gaming quality on your phone. The game is almost like Infinity Blade, and it performs really well on this device, so no issues there. Asphalt 6 also plays well on this, and we did play that a lot. So overall, this device is absolutely brilliant, and now that it's at a price of 20,000 rupees. It was also good at a price of 26,000 rupees, but it did make more sense to buy the Samsung Galaxy S2. So this definitely improves over that, and at a price of 20,000 rupees, it has a decent screen. The only disadvantage is it does not have an AMOLED display. It's not as thin as the Galaxy S2, is not as impressive to look at. It also does not have the 1.2 GHz processor. This one does have a 1 GHz Nvidia Tegra 2 processor. So a lot more support for that on the Android market. A lot more apps support that. A lot more games work on that processor, so definitely an advantage. The overall build quality is also not so impressive, as you can see the dents and the scratches on the front screen. Not too impressed with that. Ports and the button, the lock and unlock button is also not very impressive. One more thing that we did notice was that the device, in terms of the accelerometer, tends to misbehave, and it kind of turns when you don't want it to turn. And I'm going to give you a quick example of how that does misbehave. It turns into landscape and then does not turn into portrait. It kind of misbehaves at times, and as you can see, it's not turning back into portrait right now. So that's something which is wrong with the accelerometer, where it does not respond well, or maybe that's with this unit, I don't know, but our accelerometer is not very fluid, and it sometimes forgets to come back into portrait mode. So that's the only disadvantage we saw on this device in terms of price value. The accelerometer is a little buggy, and the build quality is not top notch, but it's not bad either. We have been using this device extensively, so you do get wear and tear, of course, but I'm not too sure how we got that bump on it there. The screen can be easily protected with a screen protector. The cameras are pretty impressive. We'll put some video samples on our channel on YouTube as well, so you'll be able to see those video samples, and you'll be able to see that the camera is pretty decent. It's not an 8 megapixel camera like the one on the Galaxy S2, but it does take excellent pictures, and we are quite happy with the camera. This device does come with an 8 GB of internal storage, and you can increase that using a micro SD card. We have installed a micro SD card, and usually there is no SD card included, but you can install an SD card of your own. So there you go, guys. This was a in-depth review of the new Samsung Galaxy R. Definitely a great phone at the price of 20,000 rupees. Go for it if you're looking in the market for a device, because nothing beats this. The only thing that comes close to this is the LG Optimus 2X, and that's on an older version of Android, and it's a little bit bigger and not as impressive as this device. We feel that this device performs well, and we really like the TouchWiz user interface, so definitely a go-getter. And of course, the development community is also larger with Samsung, so you'll get more custom ROMs. You'll be able to root this faster. We're not too sure about the status on that. We'll have that in the full review, so stay tuned for that. Overall, excellent device from Samsung, and especially now that the price has been dropped, go for it if you're in the market and your budget is 20,000 rupees. For more unboxing videos, reviews and tutorials, log on to iGyaan.in. If you have any questions or queries, you can log on to our forums. You can also catch us on Facebook, Twitter and on Google+. The links to those are at the end of this video or in the description below. Take out the time, subscribe to the channels, guys. It's youtube.com/iGyaan, youtube.com/iGyaan TV. If you like this video and if it helped you out, give it a thumbs up, guys, because it helps us go a little bit further. Until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bharat Nagpal signing off.